Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel to a brand new pregnancy video. This video is going to be all about baby's gender in particular, and to be honest I just wanted to have some fun predicting gender before our gender reveal, which is coming up really soon on the channel. So make sure you stick around, make sure you're all subscribed. I'm over on Instagram as well, love to have you over there too. So this is what we're going to do in this video. I have got some notes set out here in front of me, and I've basically written down all of the old wives' tales and whether you're having a boy or a girl. And basically I want to go through these, tell you which ones I fit into, and then you can, at the end, predict the gender. Also in this video, I wanted to go through my food cravings and aversions with you as well, from the first trimester up until the second trimester where we're up to today. And the reason I want to do that is because when I was obsessed with people's first trimesters in my first trimester, it was all a huge secret, wasn't it? And I had no one to talk to relate to, because you don't really want to be revealing anything at that stage. It's like, you know, you're not out of the woods and all of that. So it's quite a lonely time. Anyway, I found comfort in other people's like first trimester blogs. But what I did find myself doing was seeing what people were eating and what aversions they had to food in particular, and then finding out what that person went on to have, like a boy or a girl, to see if I could relate. Because in the early stages, like, you start wondering, don't you, all of these things, like, is it going to be a boy or is it going to be a girl? Like, can I see myself having a daughter or can I see myself having a son? But what I will say is, in this video I will not be confirming or denying any of the genders. So you'll have to stay tuned for the gender reveal. So without further ado, go and grab yourselves a nice drink of something, depending on the time you're watching this, I suppose. And I've actually still got my pajamas on, because what time is it? It's literally 10 to 11 in the morning and I'm still in my pajamas. These are new, and if you stick around in one of the next vlogs, I'm going to show you these pajamas. Oh my god, they're beautiful. But yeah, I just thought to myself, if you can't have a pajama day when you're pregnant in your second trimester, then when can you? I've created a list of all the old wives' tales that I found on the internet. So I'm not suggesting this. The myths, the legends, the old wives' tales and the internet is where I plucked all this information from, and I'm just going to tell you which one I fit into. Let's start with an obvious: morning sickness. So in the first trimester, I was nauseous for sure, quite frequently. I didn't hardly vomit physically, literally, but I felt nauseous a lot. And you'll see from the first trimester vlog, I was heavy on the ginger biscuits, trying to like calm the nausea down. Can I just say this though? My first pregnancy was a girl, obviously, Joelle, and I was violently ill, violently sick throughout the pregnancy with Joelle. This time round, like I said, I have had the morning sickness in the first trimester, and compared to Joelle, it was a breeze. Like, it's just a little bit of a feeling sick, and it usually got cured with a bit of ginger biscuit or food in general, really. So it was almost as if my body was saying, you're hungry. So yeah, make of that what you will, but by the second trimester, the nausea has absolutely like calmed down and gone away. Thank the heavens above. Thank you, Jesus. I just wanted to touch on this actually. In other people's videos, first trimester blogs, and about the sickness in general, there's a lot of people have a sickness phobia as well. Luckily, I don't have the sickness phobia. It's called, what's it called? There's a medical term for it, and it's actually a phobia of sickness. So people who have that have obviously really struggled in the first trimester if they've been nauseous. So they're quite happy to feel sick but not be sick, whereas I'm the opposite. I hate the feeling of nausea. I would rather be sick, get it over with, and it's gone. you know, like I'm not bothered about being sick. So I just wanted to say that, because if you're watching this and you're pregnant, like I'm just the opposite to most people, and you might be as well. I don't know, let me know in the comments. So the old wives' tale suggests that if you're sick, you're having a girl, and if you're not sick, you're having a boy. So the old wives' tale suggests that if you're craving sweet things, you're having a girl, and if you're craving salty things, you're having a boy. Personally, I have gone off anything sweet. I cannot stand the thought of anything sweet. I mean, let me just say, I didn't really have a massively sweet tooth anyway. Like, I mean, I enjoyed a bit of chocolate at a weekend, and I love a cake. I love cake and a cup of tea, but I mean, I've gone off hot drinks. I mean, do we have to even say that? I think everybody in literally the history of the world has an aversion to like tea and coffee when they get pregnant. Yeah, I'm still off my tea and coffee, and I'm like a massive cup of tea lover and a coffee lover, to be honest with you. And I'm on iced coffees because I like icy cold drinks. I usually love a cup of tea and a slice of cake, like it's my favourite thing in the whole world. Like, sit me down with an afternoon tea and I am your best friend. Anyway, can't stand anything sweet. Not 1 ounce of sugar has passed my lips since I got pregnant. I just don't want it. Salt, however, is a different story. Cannot get enough salt. Vinegar, especially on chippy chips. We'll get to the food cravings at the end, like I said, and I'll go more into detail. But yeah, all the salty foods, like salt and vinegar crisps, in particular, ready salted crisps. Not interested in the other crisps. I'm a massive crisps fan usually as well. Like, I'll eat any flavoured crisps, cheese and onion, salt and vinegar, prawn cocktail, you name it, you give it to me, I'll eat it. But I've only wanted the salty crisps. So, sweet versus salty, definitely salty. Just to add another layer of, you know, fun to this video, I think I'm going to compare everything with my first time pregnancy with Joelle, 20 years ago, mind. I can't really remember, guys, if I was craving sweet or salty with Joelle all those years ago. I don't think I was very hungry at all, to be honest with you. As I mentioned in the previous myth, old wives' tale, I was violently sick with Joelle. Like, I couldn't even smell anything without like heaving. And then my stomach was just like, I was just in pain in my stomach, because like when you're heaving and there's nothing to come up, it's just the worst. And I was like that, like throughout the first and the second trimester. I think it eased off slightly at the end, but oh, it was awful. Mood swings. It suggests that if you are moody, you are having a girl. And if you're not so moody and you're a bit chill, you're having a boy. In the first trimester, I was really up and down with my moods. But I think that were just hormones. Like, 1 minute I was scriking my eyes out. Like, I started watching like really emotional films for some reason, like The Fault in Our Stars. And I remember sitting there watching A Fault in Our Stars, and it's sad, isn't it? Anyway, like, I'll cry anyway at that. Hormones or no hormones. And but yeah, it really got to me. I've seen it before. I was blubbering. I was basically a puddle on the floor, sobbing, and I was like to Ash, we're all terminal, we're all terminal. At other times in the first trimester, I was so irritated. Oh my God, I've never felt like, I don't think I felt irritated with Joelle in the first pregnancy. Not like this. I was quite calm, apart from the sickness, which I was just dealing with throughout with her. I don't remember feeling like moody. However, my sister said that I was moody with Joelle. I can't remember. Like I said, it was 20 years ago. But let's talk about this time round. Yeah, moody in the first trimester, emotional, moody, roller coaster. But is that just hormones in the first trimester? Raging. I was feeling irritable and rage. Like, the rage was on another level. Like, I went to the supermarket, right? I'm just going to give you this. And I'm not proud of myself, by the way. and I need to control myself. But listen, my hormones are everywhere. I'm feeling this like rage out of nowhere. I nipped into the supermarket for something and I only needed a couple of bits. So I had literally something in my hand. And do you know, it's common practice, isn't it? Isn't it? When you go to the supermarket and there's a big line of people and then someone's got a trolley full in front of you, they've put it all on the conveyor belt. I've got a couple of things in my hands, and before anyone says, why don't you go through self-checkout, they don't have self-checkouts in this Lidl where I live. They're building a new one. Anyway, that's a different story. That's so irrelevant. But you know, people will jump in the comments, oh, why didn't you go through self-checkout? This guy had his conveyor belt full of stuff. He spotted me with my 2 items, and it's common practice, isn't it? Because I do it as well to other people. Oh, have you only got one thing? Yeah, you can go before me, of course, because it's the nice thing to do, isn't it? So this guy said, you go before me, you've only got a couple of things. So I obviously went down to the front at line, and before she started scanning his stuff, I handed the 2 things for her to scan that I wanted. And she just looked at me like I was an alien. She's a regular worker in there, like I've seen her before, like plenty of times. She's obviously been there a while. She knows what she's doing. She knows how supermarkets work. She literally looked at me like I had 2 heads, all confused, and went, I'm sorry, I don't understand. She said to me, like, I'm sorry, I don't understand. This guy's let me go in front of him because I've only got 2 items. And she's like looking like she doesn't understand. And like I said, I am not proud, but every ounce of religion left my body in that moment. Rage just overtook me. And I just went, well, it's not uncommon, is it? And hormones. I was feeling this rage in the first trimester. It's gone away now. I feel absolutely lovely. All these awful things in the first trimester have all gone away, by the way, just to let you know that. So we're in the second trimester now and I feel lovely. No more hormonal outbursts so far. Thank you, Jesus. Like, does the old wives' tales apply to the whole pregnancy, or would that count in the first trimester? Because if you were going off my first trimester, yes, I was moody. Now I'm not. So make of that what you will. Oh, this one is a really interesting one for me. So this one suggests that if you have bad skin, hair and nails, so acne and brittle hair and brittle nails, that you're having a girl. If you've got beautiful skin, hair and nails, you're having a boy. And I have to compare this with my first pregnancy, which was a girl 20 years ago. And with Joelle, she set off adult acne during my pregnancy. The breakouts were so bad. And I went from having really beautiful skin as well. So it wasn't very nice for me. And yeah, she set off adult acne in my skin. I looked terrible. I felt terrible. I was broken out. I was sick. You can imagine. It was awful. And in fact, let me just say, it's no wonder it put me off having another baby, is it? Because sometimes you can't control these things. It's not your fault. You know, it's just a hormonal acne. And I had it all through my 20s. In fact, I had to go to a dermatologist in the end, which was quite the process, and get the Roaccutane, which is not a nice drug to be on, in order to cure my skin problems. After the drug, I'm left with scarring from all of those breakouts and spots, because when I was younger, I used to pick them. We do it, don't we? And I shouldn't have done, but I did, and it ruined my skin. I've still got some scarring now. I've actually had laser resurfacing done. My point is, I had a girl the first time round. I had such bad acne. It set off a whole host of problems with the hair, the skin and the nails, and I looked and felt terrible. So if the first pregnancy is to go by, then that myth is correct, because it happened to me. This time round, however, oh my God, such a difference. And that's where the anxiety come from, because obviously my first experience wasn't a great one. So I'm like anticipating all these bad things, because that's all I know from the first time round. And I've been dreading it. And you know what? My skin is beautiful. My skin is beautiful. Touch wood. Thank you, Jesus. My hair, it's never been so luscious. I mentioned this in the first trimester vlog as well. Like I said, if you're watching this and you're struggling with all these things, it's normal in pregnancy and it's not nice, and I'm really sorry, and it happened to me the first time round. I'm not bragging when I say that this time round I'm feeling amazing. I am. I'm feeling so good. My hair is luscious. It's never looked this good. Obviously, I'm going to take that as a win. My nails, they're my real nails. I don't know if you can see. Absolutely strong, really white. They're growing like you wouldn't believe. I have to file them down like most evenings to keep them nice and short so they don't break, but totally different this time round. The myth suggests if you have a big appetite, you're having a boy, and if you are not got much of an appetite, you're having a girl. So let me compare to 20 years ago when I had a girl, and like I said, I didn't have much of an appetite, but I think it was due to the sickness. So we can't really go off that. I was just sick, and that's what controlled the whole situation. Had I not been sick, I probably would have obviously had an appetite or not. And then we would have been able to predict from that pregnancy if the old wives' tale was true. This time round, however, I'm not too sure what's going on with my appetite. So in the first trimester, I felt this insatiable hunger, and I just don't know whether it was the first trimester, the hormones, and obviously the growing a baby. Like, you're literally growing a little brain and organs and all sorts. Like, the body's magic, isn't it? And I was just so hungry all the time, so hungry, like I couldn't stop eating. But fast forward to the second trimester, that insatiable hunger has died off a little bit. And yeah, I don't feel as hungry as I did. I've kind of got in tune with my pregnant body at the moment. And it seems to be that when I'm hungry, I start to feel a little bit nauseous. And so I eat something and I'm fine again. I'm eating every couple of hours, small portions though. I'm not eating heavily, but I am eating a lot. A lot more than I did in the first pregnancy. So yeah, make of that what you will. Okay, the next old wives' tale is heartburn. So it suggests that if you've got heartburn a lot, you're having a girl, and if you've not got much heartburn, you're having a boy. So in my first pregnancy with a girl, I had really bad heartburn, so that myth was true in my case the first time round. I remember literally having a bottle of Gaviscon next to my bedside because I was just like constant acid reflux with Joelle, like especially from the second trimester and into the third, right up until she was born, and then it just went away. Isn't it weird how all these things just go away as soon as that baby's out of your body? It's so weird. But yeah, I really had bad heartburn with Joelle and she was a girl. So for me, the first time round, that old wives' tale was true. This time round, in this pregnancy, I've not really got much heartburn. I have had heartburn a couple times, but I'm not sure if that was because I was eating a lot of vinegar and like salty chips. I don't know. I think sometimes certain foods set off heartburn. Like for me, generally when I'm not pregnant, like if I eat a Greggs sausage roll or a pasty, literally a couple of hours later, I am struggling with heartburn. So it's food for me, the type of food I'm eating as to why I've got heartburn. Then again, like I said, I had Joelle the first time round and she was a girl and I just had heartburn constantly and I wasn't eating much. Okay, this next one is really interesting to me. So the next old wives' tale suggests that if your bump position is high and wide, you're having a girl, and if your bump position is low and narrow, you're having a boy. This is so interesting to me because 20 years ago when I had Joelle, I was quite upfront with her, which always suggested I was having a boy according to the old wives' tales. But yeah, I was all up the front, even right up until the end, and she was a big baby and she went a week overdue. So I remember someone actually saying, you don't even look pregnant from behind, and then you turn around and then this big bump was just there. Like, it was like, whoa. I think I might have a photo of me with Joelle in the bump, but it's upstairs somewhere. I'd have to dig it out. Anyway, this time round, let's go off this time round. I don't know, you guys, like, sometimes I feel like my bump is bigger because it's bloat, isn't it? Like, I don't know about you, but my bump gets bigger throughout the day. towards the end of the day, it's the biggest it is. In the morning, it's not that big, you know, it really isn't. And then some days I feel like it's higher than others. Anyway, you'll see this on my Instagram, but I've not been doing like bump dates as such, but I've been doing like outfits and trying to style the bump. And even I've noticed by editing those reels back that sometimes the bump's looks low, sometimes it looks higher, and it's different sizes all the time. And I know that in real life as well, because like I said, by the end of the day, I feel like the biggest. In the morning, I don't really feel like I've got much of a bump. So you tell me. Okay, favourite subject, not, is weight gain. So the old wives' tale suggested that if you have weight gain all over your body, then you're having a girl. If you have weight gain just on the bump, then you're having a boy. Let's compare with Joelle 20 years ago. And yeah, like I said, I didn't put much weight on with Joelle. I was all bump. You couldn't even tell I was pregnant from behind. But let me just remind you, I was sick all the way through that pregnancy, like not very well at all with the sickness all the way through. It was quite terrible actually, and I had no appetite. So I wasn't skinny, like too skinny. I was okay. I was healthy enough to obviously have her, and to be honest with you, she was 9 pounds freaking 7, and I hardly ate anything. I was actually just saying this to somebody the other day on Instagram, but someone commented, and I don't really take offense. I have got thick skin, like things just go over my head, like I can't be bothered. I am too old to be arguing about shit. But I don't know, it's just like there should be a pregnancy etiquette book, whereas there's just some things you don't say to a pregnant woman. Like, am I right? Let me just get this off my chest. Someone said or suggested or said something along the lines of, and I know there's no ill will or ill intentions by it, but it's quite annoying and you hear it quite a lot. Like that you've got a big bump. That could really trigger someone. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I thought I'd just mention that. I didn't take any offense, by the way. Just, I don't know, it can trigger some people, and I'm very mindful of that. Especially now I'm pregnant. So I do have a big bump though. You're right. I think I've got a big bump for how far along I am. And like I've just explained, I didn't even have an appetite with Joelle. I was sick the whole way through. And I didn't really put on any weight much, you know, and I still had a big baby. Some women carry differently. Some women hardly have a bump. Some women have a bigger bump. I have a bigger bump. I do carry big babies. Joelle was 9 pounds 7 when she was born. This time round, obviously we're not going to guess weight and things like that, but Ash is 6 foot bloody 7, 6 foot 6, 6 foot 7, something like that. He's tall and he's a big lad. So if that's anything to go by, then would that suggest I have a big baby? I think he was only about 7 pounds though. I asked his mum. So, and like I said, Joelle was 9 pounds 7. She was an actual little beast when she was born, little beastly. She's the smallest size 6 now you've ever seen in your life. She's tiny. So it doesn't really matter. Anyway, like I was saying, some people carry big babies and I'm one of them. In fact, the midwives have actually got me down as a high-risk pregnancy for a few reasons. But one of those reasons were that I carry big babies, which is a bit risky when it comes to, you know, further on along with the birth plan and like giving birth and things. And like I said, I had a bit of a traumatic experience trying to get a 9 pound 7 baby out of my little body in the first place all those years ago. So there's that to think of. In this pregnancy, I do feel like I've put a few pounds on, but like I said before I was pregnant, I'm bloaty anyway. Like at the time of the month, I seem to like look like I've put on a lot of water. Maybe it's water in the face. I have a round face anyway. I'm not like a super skinny girl, to be honest with you. So I just don't know. Linea nigra. I'm sorry if I'm getting that totally wrong, but I'm not very good with the terminology and the pronunciation of that. But what that is the line that appears on your tummy in the center. Do you know what I mean? But the old wives' tales suggest that if that line is below the belly button, starts from like below the belly button, then you're having a girl. And they're saying that if it starts from above the belly button, then you're having a boy. I've got no line on my tummy right now, so I don't know if that's going to come later or not. We're halfway through at the moment. And yeah, I can't remember if I had one with Joelle or not. I think I did, and it was underneath. So yeah, I can remember a photo. Don't quote me on that, but I'm sure there's a photo of me and that line is below my belly button. And I did have a girl, and that's what the old wives' tale is suggesting. So yeah, there's that. I don't have a line at the moment at all, so we can't comment on that. So I don't know why I included that one, to be honest with you. So it's saying that if you prefer to sleep on the right side, on your right side, then you're having a girl. If you prefer to sleep on your left side, you're having a boy. So I can't remember which side I slept on with Joelle, because that was 20 years ago. Cannot compare it with that. So we're going to have to just go with this pregnancy. And I do prefer to sleep on my right. However, I always do prefer to sleep on my right, whether I'm pregnant or not, you know? So like, can we really go off that? Next up is feet temperature. So it suggests that if you have cold feet, you are having a boy. And if you have warm feet, you're having a girl. And I can't remember with Joelle 20 years ago, so we can't compare, unfortunately. But this time round, my feet are freaking freezing. They're freezing. Like, I've had to buy some woolly socks, and I need to buy some more woolly socks. Like, I need to buy some cashmere socks or something cozy, because I cannot warm my feet up. Like, I'm cold anyway, body temperature wise. I mean, I do have little hot spurts, but I don't know if that's this stupid British weather, especially in the autumn. It's like that time of year, isn't it, where you put a jumper on and it's chilly in the morning. By the afternoon, you're freaking sweating. You're back in your shorts. Yeah, my feet are freezing and I can't warm them up. And the only thing that gets them back warm again is getting in a nice hot bath. So yeah, freezing cold feet. Okay, I'm going to include this one, but I find it absolutely ridiculous. Let me tell you why. So the myth. So the old wives' tale suggests face shape. And it says that if you've got a lean face shape, then you're having a boy. If you've got a round face shape, all of a sudden you're having a girl. Well, I don't think my face shape has changed, to number one. I don't think that's a thing. Was it ever a thing for any of you guys? Let me know in the comments if you can relate to that, because I can't understand that. Like, I've got a round face anyway before I was pregnant. So like, what, it's just gonna go really lean all of a sudden? Like, I don't know, I just find it a little bit ridiculous, that one. So, you know, if we wanted to put me in the category, I would say round for a girl, but I've got a round face anyway, so I don't think that you can go off that, you know? This one, however, I can relate to. So pregnancy brain. Pregnancy brain. Oh my God, brain fog. I can't even tell you. So the myth and the legend suggests that if you've got a baby brain, clumsy, then you're having a boy. If you've got a more alert brain, you're having a girl. Definitely got brain frog. See? I told you. Yeah, definitely got brain fog in this pregnancy. I can't remember if I had baby brain with Joelle all those years ago. So sorry, I can't compare with that. I can't remember. So long ago. This time round though, brain fog. Literally, my father-in-law asked me the other day, he was like, oh, when's this appointment? Such and such appointment. And I said, I don't know. And he was like, looked at me like as if you don't know your own antenatal appointments. I literally don't know. Luckily, my husband is so on the ball with organisation. Usually, let me just tell you this. Usually, I am highly organised. Listen, I love organisation. Like, it's my thing. I'm a Capricorn, for God's sake. I'm very close to a Virgo in that respect, where I am highly organised. I ain't missing anything. You know what I mean? Like, I know what's happening and when, and things will run smoothly if I am in charge. Now, it's all gone out the window. Woohoo! My husband has literally had to take over. He's Capricorn as well, luckily, so he's highly organised. Thank God for him, because I just wouldn't know where I am with all these appointments otherwise. There's just too many going on. There's so many appointments. I can't cope. Not only that, like, I can't string a sentence together. I can't seem to focus on anything. I can't get it together. It's frightening. And oh wow, this next one, like, I have never heard this before. But this old wives' tale suggests that your partner's weight, if it stays the same, you're having a boy. Like, how does that affect your partner? Like, strange, isn't it? Although I have mentioned to Ash, actually, we're so in sync that, you know, he went a little bit funny around the first trimester time. And I was like, I can't remember what it were now, because like I said, brain fog, but it was something. And I said, oh my God, you're having my symptoms, like, and like, is that a real thing? But I've never heard this one before with the partner's weight. So yeah, it says that if the partner's weight is the same, then you're having a boy. And if he has gained weight, then you're having a girl. And I can't relate. I can't relate to his weight anyway. I just think he's very fit, my husband. He goes to the gym, he's like, loves fitness, and he keeps himself very, very healthy and fit. And yeah, he hasn't put any weight on, he hasn't lost any weight, he's just the same to me, so can't really go off that. But I'd love to know if that has happened to you and your partner. Let me know in the comments if that has happened, because that is crazy, isn't it? Oh, this one's a good one because I was surprised when I saw this. Yeah, there's an old wives' tale that I've picked up for this video, and it says headaches. And it says that if you're having headaches, you're having a boy, and if you're not having headaches, you're having a girl. I can't remember if I had headaches with Joelle 20 years ago, unfortunately. So we can't compare that if that's true in that case. But this time round, I'm suffering really bad from headaches, and that's why I was surprised to see that, because I didn't know that it was an old wives' tale and goes with the gender predictions, because I've been suffering really bad with headaches. In fact, I've got it on my little list of questions because, like I said, brain fog. And when I get into the midwife appointment, the antenatal appointments, and she says, do you have any questions? I can't think straight in the moment. Like I'm like, are you joking? I can't even think straight. And then I get home and I'm like, oh, I really wanted to ask that. So I've been keeping notes on my phone of like questions to ask midwife and antenatal appointments. And that is actually on there because I'm really suffering badly from headaches. Like sometimes I wake up with them and they're not nice. Sometimes I'm going to bed with them. I'm a headachy person anyway. Like I suffer from headaches, and I've said this in the vlogs in the past. Like when I do my shopping hauls and I'm like paracetamol because I can't be having a headache, because it can literally just set me off. Anything, a noise, a bad noise, anything, someone's voice, decibels can just set me off. Kids usually set me off, and here I am having a baby, so I'm gonna have to get used to this. I'm gonna have to buy all the paracetamol. According to old wives' tales, with my headaches currently, I'm having a boy. But all of these old wives' tales, I want you to tell me in the comments if they applied to you or not, or if they were right and if they were wrong. And obviously, based on mine, I want you guys to predict the gender of this baby. I want you to do it in this video because I know some of you have actually predicted it in the other videos, but I want all the predictions in the prediction videos in the comments, you know, all in one place, all in this video. So yeah, drop me a comment, let me know if you predict I'm having a boy or a girl and why, and if any of these myths and legends and old wives' tales applied to you or not, or if they were wrong. Oh, it's so exciting, isn't it? I'm having so much fun doing this video. But before we end the video and before you make your prediction in the comments below, I just wanted to give you a couple more nuggets of information around the food cravings and food aversions. And hopefully it's going to help you make a bit of a better informed prediction down below. So, salty over sweet, we've already gone through that. I'm definitely craving salty foods over sweet foods. Ice and icy drinks, straight from the first trimester. All I've been wanting is icy drinks. That is still the case right up until this day. Cannot get enough ice. Another craving that I've had right from the start is beef. Roast beef, gravy, vegetables. Oh, mouth watering. Can't get enough of it. Cannot get enough of it. cheeseburgers, McDonald's cheeseburgers. I've also had a real aversion to carbs, which is really strange for me. I'm definitely a carby girl usually. Like, give me all the pasta dishes, give me the risottos, the rice dishes, and the stodgy lasagnas, and oh, the sandwiches and the toasties and the bread and the cakes. Like, usually I'm a very carby person. Like, I love carbs. However, in this pregnancy, especially at first, couldn't think of anything worse than a pasta dish. Still can't stomach a pasta dish. Don't want it. It's not like I feel sick at the thought of it, like I would have done with Joelle, but it's an aversion. I definitely don't want it. I just know I don't want it. Oh my God, this one, Craving salmon and sushi. Like, the thought of it, and it's on the list of what you shouldn't eat. And it's really unfortunate. And I put this on my Instagram actually because I need to know this, right? When I was pregnant with Joelle 20 years ago, I remember there being a list of things that you shouldn't be eating during your pregnancy. And one of those things on that list all them years ago was nuts. Roasted nuts, maybe just nuts in general. Anyway, what did I crave? Roasted friggin' peanuts. Like, I really wanted them peanuts, like, more than ever. And I didn't know whether that was just the rebel in me or not. But this time round, the list suggests that you shouldn't eat sushi, not sushi, just in general, like salmon, anything raw fish or anything like that, you've to avoid. And that's all I want. Like, there must be a reason my body wants that. It's not just me being a rebel, is it? Is it? I have warned my husband and daughter that if they do not bring me the finest of sushi to that hospital once I've had this child, there will be hell to pay. Another craving is chippy chips, specifically. Don't want any other chips, right? Do not put any other chips in front of me. I don't want them. Chippy chips, you know, proper English chippy chips, Northern English chippy tea. Chippy chips, loads of salt and vinegar, loads of salt and vinegar. And when I say lashings of salt and vinegar, I ain't joking. I hurt my tongue. I had that much vinegar on my chips the other night, but I can't get enough of them. Curry, really craving curry. It was just really weird. Usually we get like a takeaway on a Saturday night, or we go out for dinner. And I said to Ash, like, I just want a lamb bhuna. Like, get me a lamb bhuna. And oh my God, I ate so much of that lamb bhuna, I couldn't get enough of it. And then since then, every week on a Saturday, we've been ordering curry, an Indian curry, and I've been having lamb bhuna and I can't get enough of it. So again, the red meat, lamb. Crisps, which I'm a crisp person anyway, but I don't want any of the other flavours, only salt and vinegar and ready salted. So again, it's the salt that I want from the crisps, nothing else. Also, as well, just lately, that's changed and I've switched to Wotsits, cheesy Wotsits. I'm not into cheese. I don't think it's the cheese I want. I don't know why. I've just been eating Wotsits. I've been eating breakfast since the first trimester. Who even am I? I have never ate breakfast, apart from when I was a young kid with Nanny. Nanny used to make me the loveliest breakfasts. But yeah, since I was a teenager, from there on forward, I have never really wanted any breakfast. I'm just not a breakfast kind of person. I'm not hungry first thing in the morning. All I want usually is coffee. And then I'll get hungry towards dinner time, so I'm a brunch kind of a girl. But at the moment, I'm waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning hungry for breakfast. And I've been eating Weetabix and all sorts of cereals for breakfast. And just to reiterate the aversions: sweets, sugar, cakes, bakes, carbs, pasta, bread, chicken. I'm having an aversion to all of them things. All of a sudden, I do not want any sugar at all. Like, no, I don't want anything sweet. I just don't want it. And again, I don't want all the pasta and the carbs, which is a really good thing, isn't it, for the weight gain, you know, anxieties that I have as well. So yeah, make of all that what you will, guys. My battery is flashing. I'm just grateful that we're at the end of the video before it cuts out. So I'm gonna leave it there. I can't wait to hear all your comments down below. I can't wait to hear all your predictions and have them all in like one place. So I hope you all had fun with me in this video. I have had so much fun doing this video. I hope you're all having a great start to the week, and I will see you for my next video on Thursday. Bye guys.